Hi everybody. Somebody asked me the other day after I posted about Arthur, what are my ideas about familiars? Well, for me, I think they're like our non-ordinary reality spirit animals, spirit guides, totem animals, that come to us to take a physical form on Earth. Sometimes I think that they're sent to protect us, heal us, show us magical things, come here boy, and bring their own magic into our lives. My first cat was, it's a little story, was called Felix, and he was definitely a familiar extraordinaire. Sorry Arthur, block your ears. I was a single mum with a 5-year-old daughter at the time, and I was receiving a lot of unwanted attention from a fire-eating druid warlock. I know, yeah. And he was intent on getting me to fall in love with him. We had this act where we did some fire eating together, and it was all a little bit too much. And anyway, he just wanted me to fall in love with him, and he just wouldn't take no for an answer. One day he just decided to open the door to my flat where I lived and invite himself in. So I was obviously a little bit upset about this, and he sat down on the sofa, and Felix launched himself right up at this guy's face, all claws and teeth, and literally sliced his face and his lip open. There was lots of blood, loads of blood. You know, it's like when you split your lip. And needless to say, he left me alone after that. Felix was very, very proud of himself, and he made it known that this was absolutely intentional and that no one was going to mess with his mum. Bless him. I've also had healing cats who work with me in the therapy room, bringing healing and comfort to the people that I'm working with in those sessions. And one of these was called Avalon. And, excuse me. And then there's my Arthur, my little prince, who's listening to every word that I'm saying. Avalon was definitely here to help in the healing room. And this is, I'll show you this. This is my Avalon. Here she is. She was the most beautiful, beautiful cat. And as some of my friends and clients will probably tell you if they see this post, they'd knock on the door and along would come Avalon, tail swishy swish swish, open the door and meow meow. And she was the most prettiest, beautiful cat. And she'd lead the people through the house out into the therapy room, which is in the garden, and then jump on them. Obviously, I used to make sure they were okay with cats. And then when I say jump, she'd just lay here, and people would just lay there and stroke her, and it was absolutely gorgeous. She was so gorgeous. And sadly, at the age of 2, she became very ill. And I took her to the vets, and they said that she had, that she'd probably fallen and hurt her leg. And I brought her home, and she wasn't getting any better. So I took her to a different vet because I wanted a second opinion. And sadly, she had to be put to sleep. She had leukemia. So I was devastated, absolutely devastated. And I did a journey to my guides and to the energy of Avalon to ask a bit more as to what had happened. I mean, it was awful. It was just truly so sad. I was heartbroken. And it turned out that what I discovered on this journey was that she had indeed come here onto this earth to help heal others. And that was her purpose. I saw her and she really just told me not to be sad. Not to be sad. Bless her. I still was sad, of course, but it definitely helped me to understand a little bit more why this special little girl was given to me. So I feel that that's familiar as well. Back to my little Prince Arthur, who's quite happily curled up. As soon as I saw him, I knew he was this tiny little thing. And I looked at him and my heart literally skipped a beat. And I felt this undeniable connection. It felt like part of my soul was coming home. And a love so deep and strong instantly. It was pure magic. It was gorgeous. And a big thanks to my big sister Carol for buying me Arthur. And I already had Owen in the house, my little black and white cat, and she was also a familiar, although she was much more choosy when she worked with me. So every pet will give you signs if they're a familiar. So how do you know if your pet is a familiar? I can only say how I know and how it's been different with the different cats that I've had. Firstly, when they sit on my lap and I stroke them, I begin breathing really slow and deep, and I ask for my Reiki to switch on, but it's not necessary. But if you do Reiki, it's a good way of being able to merge with your animals. So I ask permission to connect with the cat that I'm with. And I also do this for healing work. If rather than just go, oh yeah, I'll have some healing, I ask permission. And then just begin as if you were working with your spirit animal. So you can ask if the animal has anything to teach you. Or is there something that you could do for them? It's nice to have this exchange. And I do this when I'm working with the plants as well. You know, there's an exchange there. We give. So me and Arwen used to have a little game. And as I would stroke her, her little body would give off a colour in her aura. So this kind of progressed into me asking her to show me a particular colour, and then if possible to show me what the colour meant. Another thing is, like Arthur, as I'm sure as you know, he likes to get involved in everything I'm doing. It's a familiar kind of thing to sit with you when you journey, or during a healing session. Is interested in all my herbal work outside in the garden, all the healing work, any spells I'm doing. Is there. He is there. So when he's guised as familiar, I see him as sometimes a protector and a magical ally. And I believe that he enhances whatever magical work I'm doing with his beautiful energy, because he brings this beautiful unconditional love to everything I do. And the sound of him purring while I'm working works on the raising the vibrations around it, whatever I'm doing. So I would love to hear anybody else's take on what they feel a witch's familiar is, and any special stories. And it doesn't have to be a cat, it can be a dog, it can be a horse, it can be any animal, a fly, you know, although flies won't stay around that long. But you know, think outside the box. We've got this typical witch with a black cat, you know, and all the superstition that goes around black cats. But it can be any animal that you have a deep, meaningful heart and soul connection to. So thanks, Gail, for asking this question, and I really look forward to seeing some of you reply. I'll be in touch more. I've just sent an email out, and I shall be in touch more. I'll do another post about the Pay It Forward fund from the Swan Medicine and prize giveaway, how much money we made, and how you can apply for a one-to-one personal Swan Medicine healing. If you want to go and have a look on my website and find out what that is, then thank you, and I'll be doing another post soon. And intuitive guidance, medicine messages, 3 p.m. live in this group on Saturday. Just show up and I'll do my best to give some little bits of medicine advice with my guides. So thanks everybody. Happy Friday.